So I just made a video about the Trump supporters. The Trump supporters storming the Capitol building. So I have this friend on Messenger. I still have Messenger, I just don't have Facebook. So, but I hardly use Messenger anymore. But this friend of mine named Steven, he forwarded me this link called MAGA Chat. So he's a credible guy, so I clicked it, and it has a Facebook format that's not for that's not formatted for those Biden guys. But that aside, he also forwarded me this other video by a gentleman named Sonny, Sonny, Underwood. So in that video that I saw with Sonny, he was mentioning how China is essentially our enemy. Now, that aside, we know there's tensions between us and China and Russia and I guess the Middle East. Pretty much America's public enemy number one. And with all this going on, you have guys like me that believe heavily in a Second Amendment. Because just in case if there's some fuck shit going on with our government, we could answer to that fuck shit. In case if there's tyranny with the law, we could answer that. And laws are being passed left and right to take away those rights, so we can't answer it. Now, in that video, I slightly got off track there, but in that video, he was mentioning how the people of China went in Jamaica, and I'm part Jamaican myself, so he mentioned how they went into Jamaica and the Bahamas, pretty much bought all their stuff. And recently, they came to the mainland, America, to buy farmland triple, not the amount of the value price, not double the amount of the price, but triple the amount of the price of the value of farmland to buy land. And with that land, you can pretty much do whatever you want with land. It's your land, you own it, right? Why not? Sonny says they're buying the land to pretty much make military bases. So here I am, I'm like, you know what? No, that's impossible. How could that happen? But if you put two and two together, in case if there's an enemy, foreign, or domestic, how could we answer that if we can't defend ourselves between the enemies that are foreign domestic and, well, domestic, really? How could we defend against that if our Second Amendment is being trifled with? Because you have Karen and Ken that wants our rights taken away. You have people going about their everyday lives trying to find out how they could get rich or go to school for free without paying that college debt. And you're wondering why we, the people, the American people, are so hell-bent on keeping our rights when they shouldn't be messed with to begin with. Messing with our rights so we could fight these soon-to-be invaders. Those that are unaware think that we're just conspiracy theorists. But if you connect the dots, all of it adds up a little bit. It all adds up. You have, like other people are gonna think of it like, wow, this guy wanted to buy my house for $2 million when it's only worth, $750,000. Just spitballing a number there. So, what does China have any interest in Jamaica? My land, my people. I know it's kind of a stretch saying they're my people. I'm only part Jamaican, because of my grandfather and my mother being half. But that's where I could trace my mother's bloodline to, is probably that area. So, no offense to Jamaica, but other than a nice scenery of a beach and coconuts, what exciting things that's in Jamaica that people from across the whole entire map wants to invest into a small island like that. Kind of like Cold War when we had the Cuban crisis, where Russia annexed some property in Cuba to have missiles pointed at us. What if Jamaica is going to be the same thing? What if Bahamas is going to be the same thing? Bahamas and Jamaica, they're not far from the U.S. So, I don't know how to explain this the best way that I can explain it, but what I'm essentially trying to say is that the enemy is literally right at our doorstep. I'm not saying everyone that's Chinese is going to, that's our enemy. I have 3 really good Chinese friends. They're, I love them to death. I grew up with them. Naturally, we're all going to have allegiance to our own people. We are. But don't find them as enemies. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I really wish we could, like wake up and see what's really going on. But I think we're so far gone. We're so lost in life that we're not realizing what's going on around us. And when I saw that video and I connected the dots, I'm like, holy shit. Are they really like low key trying to put a military base there? Because if I have a home, say if I bought a house, and I rent out the house. I can rent out the house as long as I can. Once when the lease is up with my tenants, I could use that lease to essentially, put my other family members in there that are Jamaican, and then keep doing it and build up that kind of community. Then, if you flip the script and someone all the way from China is going to freaking Oklahoma or Kansas, in a bumfuck middle of nowhere, buying up farmland because those guys, they have that money to do so. They could buy almost 450 acres of land, if not more. That's just a low point of the acres. We're talking about ranch land, farmland. Farmland is very, very big. So if they could buy land like that, reconfigure it to build houses or their own community, they could so do so. They could build a community, they could invite their people there. The people in China, they do their military training, they come here to the United States with that military training. They have all sorts of businesses where they could pretty much ship and receive said goods, transport it to wherever they need to, assemble it to wherever they have to assemble it, and stockpile, and then have your military there. So I'm just saying, wake up and smell the coffee. That's it, man. Just wake up, smell the coffee, because this shit is much bigger than we think.